Hey, welcome to another episode of Life Between Loads, where I'm going to discuss the chaos of going through radiology school while trying not to lose any of my socks. This week was a doozy. Online platforms, lots of homework, and almost a speeding ticket. Let's get into it. So Monday kicked off with a boatload of information. We got introduced to at least 5 different online platforms, none of which are all connected, so everything is on its own separate platform. Lovely. Apparently, our class is the lucky one that gets to try out all this new platforms. So we're basically the guinea pigs of this new stuff, and none of it is going correctly. I was super overwhelmed. I mean, all of us in the class were. We all were looking around at each other like, does anybody else get this? Anybody? And we were all sitting there like deer in headlights. But there is a silver lining. The commute for me, both ways, is against traffic. So I'm just cruise controlling, looking at the other way, stuck in traffic, thinking, that used to be me. That normally is me. Thank God that ain't me. So I'm just flying down the highway while everyone else is gridlocked. But I guess I was flying a little too fast because literally one exit away from my home, I get pulled over for speeding. Luckily, the cop was super cool. I explained to him that I was just trying to get home. I was literally the first day of a new program, and he cut me a break, gave me a fix-it ticket for a broken tail light, and let me go home, no questions asked. By Tuesday, things started to make a little bit more sense. A little. We were finally able to log into all of the platforms, got a nice little walkthrough through the lab, got to check out the equipment for the first time, different types of x-ray machines. Luckily, the school has a good amount of machines for us to use, so it looks like I'm going to be getting a lot of hands-on experience, which is total key for me. I'm a very hands-on person. Then we get introduced to physics, and physics is very scary. But what's so funny is that my teacher loves physics, and she makes it seem like it is the most interesting thing in the world. And so because of her enthusiasm and her optimism, it kind of does make it seem a little more interesting than it is. But there are so many words that I have never heard of, and I'm just lost for words. I feel like if I blink or if I look away, I'm gonna miss something, and then I'm gonna be lost forever. But as of right now, I'm hanging. I mean, I'm barely hanging, but I'm hanging. Caffeine and willpower, baby. Now, Wednesday actually kind of felt good. I started to kind of get in a groove. Like, I knew where the classroom was. I kind of remember some people's names. I'm starting to feel like I sort of belong at this school. And right when I was starting to feel pretty good about myself, life came and knocked me back down because my lecture teacher speaks like a little church mouse. You really have to listen to hear anything she says, and if anybody else is saying anything while she's talking, you've definitely missed the point. She then demonstrated how to do a chest x-ray on one of our students, and you know what? It actually kind of sort of clicked in my head. Oh, and then we finally got our student badges. Well, about 3/4 of us. The other quarter is still waiting because the machine broke again. Probably at least 3 times total now. Because we don't have our school scrubs yet, the badge it's such a small thing, but it really made me feel like official, like, oh dang. We really here now. Like, we're in it. Thursday it turned out to be one of the best days, but it started horribly. We were supposed to have one of our actual first labs, but the cohort before us was supposed to take an exam, and they got double booked in the room next door. So now they have to use our room, and we, because we're new, get to just hang out in the hallway and talk for an hour and socialize or study, as they say, but it's pretty hard to study when you've got 35 other people in the hallway with you, all talking to each other at a pretty loud volume. But here's the twist. That wasted hour that we had actually turned into some pretty legit bonding time between us as a class. I mean, not everybody got to talk to everybody, but I was able to meet 5 to 8 people, exchange some contact info, just kind of, see who I'm going to be dealing with all this crap with for the next 2 years. It was nice. We were all just kind of talking, venting, laughing, asking for tips, trying to see if anyone else was spiraling like the other person was. And we all are. It's nice to know that I'm not the only one. So the previous cohort finishes their exam, and then all of a sudden, we got a pizza party. Now this was actually pretty sick because we got to, hound the cohort before us about how they got through. How were they feeling? Were they feeling overwhelmed like we were? Because honestly, I was freaking out. And when I see this other cohort looking all calm and collected and they're all just kind of hanging, it gave me a sense of relief. Like, maybe I can do this. Like, they all did it. Why can't I do it? So once all the chaos wore off, we finally got to go in and do our lab. We were able to bring in some items from home, and we all got to kind of take turns and take an x-ray of the item. We had toothbrush, hairbrush, water bottle, watch. It was actually really cool to see. And it also gave us a little bit of more hands-on experience because we actually got to work the machine ourselves. Oh yeah, and then we got to learn how to use like a patient gurney, which was actually a lot of fun. Using the gurney itself is actually pretty easy to do. So once we did that real quick, it turned into us just kind of pushing each other around until someone ran into the wall. And then there was no more of that. Friday was a short day. We just came in and finished up signing some paperwork, ordered our scrubs, the rest of us got our badges, and then we got to go home early, so that was pretty nice. So yeah, week 1 was hectic, but somehow ended the week with a bit more clarity and definitely feeling better about the program. So if you're going through school or a new job or just sorting through life between your own loads, hang in there. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, which is why it's great to celebrate these tiny wins, like folding your laundry. New episode next week. Like, sub, or just vibe with me in the comments. Clean clothes, dirty thoughts. See you next load.